welcome to the 2013 Convocation for Kansas City Public Schools. We're live and ready to go. I hope you're live and ready to go. I've come here with that ooh-wee excitement, and we're on the way up. If I can play it, don't stop us now, that's what I play, because we're on the move. So as we get ready to get started here, we got an exciting program. Go ahead and clap. Clap. As we start our program today, it's my pleasure to introduce to you a man who needs no introduction because he is a familiar face and he is the chairman of the board for the Kansas City Public Schools. He is a genius when it comes to community engagement as far as I'm concerned in community activism. And also, just recently, he was announced to the executive committee of the Council of Great City Schools. He will be representing us there. Let's bring him up. Let's bring him up to the house here. Mr. Eric Leonard West.
Good morning. How you feel? Saw some craziness in the house. There's another brother with a rainbow-colored afro running around here. Brothers with the big hair gotta stick together. Oh my. So I've got three duties. Before I get to those, I want to acknowledge my colleagues who are here. We have our Secretary of the Board, Senator Nunley. Ms. Nunley, wave for folks. And then if you could all stand and be recognized, we have, starting here, former KCPS principal, Board Member Evans. KCPS parent of 4, I believe, Board Member Jackson. Former KCPS principal, Board Member Rogers. We have a KCPS, a brand new KCPS parent. Somebody's daughter will be entering kindergarten on Monday, Board Member Hyde. And last but not least, Board Member Montero. Welcome. Kansas City Public Schools Board Representative. All right, so I've got 3 things that I got to cover. First, I've got to talk about where we're at and kind of how we got here. Because if we don't tell our own history, then somebody else will try to make it up for us. We know what we've been through, so it's important for us to recount that ourselves, to own that ourselves. Then I want to talk to you about where we're going and how we're going to get there. Because if we don't craft our own vision, somebody else will try to craft a vision for us. And then finally, I've been asked to do roll call, wherein we will see who is the loudest, craziest, most energetic, excited, ready to start the 2013-2014 school year. First, I just want to start with the amazing news about where we are at. We have improved attendance. We have improved our graduation rate. This past May, 16 of our scholars graduated with not only their high school diploma, but also their associate's degree. We've expanded our early child education offerings. We expect to do more so this fall with the opening of Woodland Early Learning Center. Woodland, where are you all at? We've had hundreds of our scholars graduate with college credit, IB credit, AP credit, indications that they are truly ready for the next level of learning. And we're not supposed to say it, so I will use ridiculous words like we predict and we believe and we provisionally suspect. But ladies and gentlemen, you have earned provisional accreditation. And you need to understand that when the official data comes back, and when it becomes a matter of record that is publicly understood and known, what you have accomplished, people are going to ask the question, how'd you get there? And the haters will come out, but you already knew this, right? Because there are those who fundamentally do not believe in what our scholars are capable of. And there are people who underestimate the capacity of the people in this room, but you have accomplished it. And it is going to be important for you to explain to people how it happened. Two fundamental things took place: hard decisions and hard work. Starting a few years ago, this district set upon a course of making several very hard decisions. Had to be done, no one liked it. I certainly, chief amongst those who was not in love with what had to be done. And so we closed 40% of our schools. We laid off a lot of our brothers and sisters. We tightened our belt, we pulled back. We were on the brink of bankruptcy. We would have been the Detroit of Kansas City, the Detroit of Missouri. We were on the very cusp. But we as a community, we as a group of people who are committed to what is possible for our scholars came together. We made the hard decisions that achievement requires. We stuck together as a family, and we persevered through that. We made hard decisions about balancing our budget, and each of the past 3 years we've done so. We made hard decisions about growing our reserves so that we weren't any longer on the brink of financial collapse. We've got a clean audit. We've had a stable vision, a board that has seen a way forward and has stayed the course to that vision. We've had a stable administration with the aspirations for many years ahead of continued stability in that area. Those are the hard decisions that it took. But what really got us there was the hard work. The hard work that you did in your classes day in and day out. Well, just deleted all the notes. We're winging it now, people. How you got there? The hard work is a combination, I believe, of two things. Effective educators, and if you touch the life of a child in one of our school buildings, you're an educator. Period. Even if you were not a classroom teacher, you were part of the education of that child. And don't ever forget. And so that hard work meant the combining of the effectiveness of our educators and the motivation of our scholars. And we have to protect both of those. And in the past 3 years, we've made great strides in doing so. You focused on the work despite the drama. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot of people who said that we couldn't get to where we have arrived. There's a lot of people who said we couldn't do it. And you had to make the choice. Do I listen to all the hater talk? Or do I stay focused on that which caused me to show up and apply for this job in the first place? What's possible for the children in this community? And so you had to choose, and you chose to remain focused on the prize. And your focus is rewarded now in the results that will be made known at the end of the month. And you worked hard in data teams. I don't want to understate how critical this is, because our children come in so many different stages. You know, I've been in some of our second grade classes, and they'll have children operating at a pre-K level, a kindergarten level, first, second, third, and fourth grade level, all in one class. If you know what I'm talking about, say all right. And so the emphasis on data teams, on really drilling down and saying, what is it that our scholars individually need? It's hard work. It takes a great deal of time. It takes energy. It takes a full measure of your passion and devotion. But because you were willing to drill down and to specifically figure out what each individual child needed and to do the hard work necessary to make sure that they got it, that's why we're here. And if anyone asks you how it is that we got back to where it is that we will be announced to have arrived at the end of this month, that's what you need to let them know. That as a school district, we made hard decisions And our educators put in a tremendous amount of hard work, and that's why at the end of this month it'll be known that you have re-earned for this district provisional accreditation. And that's where we're going. That's where we're at, but that's not where we're going. It's not where we're going, because this is just one step in a long path. A path that requires us to remain committed. And this is an important milestone. But it's not the destination we seek. The next step in this path is full accreditation. And let me tell you that in the entire time the state of Missouri has been accrediting districts in the way it does now, this district has never made it to that milestone. But with the focus and the emphasis that you have demonstrated in these past 3 years, where we have made consistent gradual gains despite what others said was not possible, and you continue to do that work, we actually can find a day in the next 2 to 3 years where for the first time this district can hold its head high to join its brother and sister districts throughout the state and say Kansas City Public Schools is fully accredited. Now you're wondering how we're going to get there. And let me tell you, you already know the answer. It's going to take more hard decisions and more hard work. Those decisions start with leadership. We're going to have to continue doing everything in our power to maintain a stable learning environment for you to work in and for our scholars to learn in. You know, the topsy-turvy decades throughout this district with curriculum changed every 15 minutes and leadership changed every 15 minutes and all that drama that ultimately was a distraction for you to get the job done. We have to make hard decisions at the leadership level to ensure that those days don't return and that we give you the work environment that you deserve, that we preserve and protect that for you. It means no more barrage of new programs every year, no more ridiculous hoops to jump through, no more SFA. Sorry, throwing out some love for people who've been here for a few minutes. You don't know what I'm talking about. But in addition to the hard decisions that leadership will have to make, in the trenches you will have to continue the hard work that you've already demonstrated capacity for. That hard work starts with let's see, who are our first year staffers? Everybody first year, kind of stand up. So all those people just stood up. My next comments are not for you. These people will need support. They will need mentorship. And so there are two cultures that will be fighting for their attention, fighting to determine which path our new brothers and sisters will take. There will be a culture of apathy or a culture of excellence. A culture of apathy means, hey, you know what, I can't really help you right now, I got my own issues. A culture of excellence means, I know that I'm struggling to meet the needs of my own children, but I promise I'm going to make some time to support you and yours, because you're new. And I remember what it was like to be new. A culture of apathy sounds like, you know what, I know that I really need to do this data team work, but I'm not really going to do it. And then all of a sudden our new people say, well, other people aren't really committed to that, so maybe I won't be committed to it. A culture of excellence says, I know that we have to be committed to drilling down to what our children need. And as someone who's been here for a while, I've got to model that for these new people coming in. Because they don't know what that looks like. You will have to show them the way. A culture of apathy suggests that as the needs of our children become overwhelming, that we'll just kind of hunker down and we'll ignore it, and we'll hope it just kind of passes over. The culture of excellence says, if I need assistance, I'm going to reach out for assistance. As I see my brothers and sisters struggling, I'm going to reach out and support them. There are two cultures of war in this district. Only one of them leads to where it is that we want to be. And as for those of us who have been here, we have to lead the way to that new culture for our people who are coming in. They have to see that exemplified in our behavior and our actions. hard work. It's going to need more time for collaboration. Those of you who've done it, and as I've visited, and my colleagues on the board have visited, we've seen the amount of collaboration that's going on in the data team drill down. There's going to have to be more of that in the days ahead. It's difficult work. I can't do it. That's why I'm on school, right? Those who can't teach, join school. So I can't do that work. But the hard work that achievement requires is going to look like a lot more time spent in collaboration, a lot more time focusing on the data, and how do we make sure that the needs of our children are being adequately addressed. As we continue to develop this, one prediction I'll make for you, others will be watching and wanting to know, how did Kansas City get to full accreditation so quickly when we thought that they were going to be wiped out? This is happening. You will happen. You will know. How we're going to get there, one more piece of tough news for you, Common Core is coming. And for anyone who's taken the time to read through the Common Core standards and kind of get a sense of what impact they're going to have, everyone in this country is going to get hit. Everyone in the state's going to get hit. And the people who will rise above the pack are the people who did extra above and beyond work on the summers and the weekends to get together in collaboration with your partners in your schools, along your grade levels and your data teams, and really sort out how are we going to push the level of rigor that Common Core is going to demand. But it is coming, it must come, and it must be done. And for us to get to where we want to be, it must be done well. Before I move into a roll call, I want to be clear, real clear, about how we're going to get to where it is we're going. But I can't think of a better way of doing that than sharing with you some of the people who have made it possible for us to get where we are. Now, the administration told me I wasn't supposed to do this because I'm not supposed to. As the board members and I went out. This past school year, if you saw myself, any of the board members spending time in your schools, and after school, before school, extracurricular activities, or just going from classroom to classroom, if you saw any of us in your schools and your classrooms, just go ahead and clap for me right quick. That needs to be a little bit louder, which means as a board, we've got some more work to do. But what I'll say to you is this, the first time I asked that question about 3 years ago, there's like one sister in the back clapping. And she was just like doing one-handed. The fact that we've come to a place where our board is out and seeing your work is important. It's important that we understand what's happening from your experience. But we did something a little bit differently this year when we went out. We didn't just go out to every single classroom like we've done in the past. We asked a question. Who are some of the most effective teachers in this building? And so we set out with one mission, to say thank you. To spend some time going out to our schools, identifying the people who have done so much great work, and just taking a moment to extend appreciation. That's what we did, and so I want to bring a few of those people up to the stage now. They didn't realize that this was going to happen, so I apologize if anyone just feels horribly offended or embarrassed, but I feel like it's necessary for us to be clear about the excellence that's available. Let's see, the first person I'll bring up is actually not a person. I'll ask, and it actually worked this way, the entire kindergarten team from Rogers, where are you at? I could actually bring up, basically the entire first, second, third, fourth grade that I visited because it was unbelievably awesome. I also want to mention I was at East High School. I want to bring forward Marie Hingley. Where is Mrs. Wilson? Southwest, you have a boss in the house? From King, where's Gazaway? King, where you at? From Phillips, Miss Vertrice. And I've got two more individuals that I want to bring up, and I intentionally saved these last two individuals because I just got to tell you, they truly blew me away. In fact, I was gushing when I emailed the superintendent and said, have you seen these people's classroom? I mean, it's just amazing the extent to which, and it was demonstrated in all of these classrooms, the extent to which our young people were clearly empowered to learn, okay? And that they were working in small groups, that they were supporting each other, that the teacher was facilitating, not the sage on the stage. Like everything you read in a book is like embodied in these people on stage, but no more so than in these last two that I want to bring up. Ms. Buckman from Faxon. No surprise over at Melcher. Ms. Dixon, where you at? Apparently she's at work. Not surprising. She's at work. And that, you know what it takes. Ladies and gentlemen, you are amazing and you are what has made the difference. Here are some of your colleagues who have embodied that. Please give them one more round of applause. For members of the board to go out into your classrooms and just be able to say thank you for the excellence is a great honor and privilege. Right now we get to hear from everybody in the house, not just a few. It's time, people, for roll call!